Before we begin, to assure that everyone enjoys this meaningful event, would you please take a moment now to turn off or mute all cell phones and other electronic devices that may detract from the enjoyment of all. Thank you. Please remain standing as Lillian Murphy leads us in the singing of America the Beautiful. The words to the song can be found on the last page of your program.
Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountains' majesties, above the fruited plain. America, God shed his grace on thee, and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea.
Please be seated. Jane Addams, class of 2014, good morning. That was pretty good. But let's try one more time. Good morning, Jane Addams, class of 2014. Good morning. And that was great. It is certainly my pleasure to welcome all of you to the 2014 commencement of the Jane Addams College of Social Work, University of Illinois at Chicago. Now, I am sure that everybody here has a story to tell. One, about just getting to this event this morning. Now, many of us are all wet, and I am certainly one of them. And people have been telling me, oh, they can't tell. You have on black pants. And I said, I can tell because my feet are wet, my pants are wet, my hair is wet, but the show must go on. And so in spite of the weather and the traffic problems and the construction and whatever, we are going to have a celebration here in this pavilion today. Now, graduates, I know that your family members and friends, colleagues have probably been saying, oh, I'm so proud of you and congratulations and whatever. But I am going to give them the opportunity right now, rather than just at the end of the program, to give you a round of applause. And just wait a minute. And graduates, I know that you had many people who helped you, as you went about doing all that was needed to obtain this degree. So I want you to stand and turn around and see if you can find whoever's been your major supporter here and give them a round of applause. Now, there will be more opportunities for accolades throughout the program. This is in some ways an elegant event. I mean, we all have on our caps and gowns, and we marched into pomp and circumstance or something similar to that. I really don't know the name of the song. But at the same time, as I said, this is a celebration and a fun event, and I want you to have a good time here today. But it is my role as Dean of the College at this point to move the program along. So at this point, I want to introduce the members of the platform party. And when I call each person's name, I will ask that person to please stand and be recognized. First, our Chancellor, Dr. Paula Mears. Associate Dean Chris Mitchell. Our Pioneer Awardee, William Coates. The Keynote Speaker, Sandy Castro. Associate Dean of the Graduate College, Jonathan Art. Alumni Relations, our Associate Chancellor there, Arlene Norsom. Associate Dean Faith Bonecutter. I decided not to ask you to hold your applause after I said each person's name because I knew that someone would not do as asked, and I didn't want to have to take back any degrees today. So now let's give all the platform party a round of applause. While certainly everyone who is here today is very special, in particular our graduates, we do have another group of special guests, and these are Jane Addams alumni. I want to recognize them. Many of them are seated in section 103 to my left. I'll ask them to please stand. But if you are a graduate of Jane Addams and you are anywhere in this building, please stand. Thank you. It is now my honor, certainly, and a privilege to introduce again our Chancellor, Dr. Paula Mears. She has been the leader of the UIC campus for the past 5 years, and under her leadership, UIC has continued to grow and prosper and to be a UIC that we all can be proud of. In fact, when you leave here today, I want you to be able to say, not able to say, I want you to say, proud to be a graduate of UIC. Yes, indeed. In addition to being the Chancellor, Dr. Mears is a member of several prestigious academic societies, including the Institute of Medicine and the Royal Academy of Medicine. She is a member of numerous national committees and task groups. And above all of that, she is a social worker and has been the dean of 2 colleges of social work prior to becoming the chancellor at UIC. She is also a member of the Jane Addams College of Social Work faculty. My honor, Dr. Paula Mears.
Congratulations, and thank you, Dean. Thank you so much for that warm introduction. On behalf of the entire UIC family, welcome everyone to Commencement 2014. I too want to congratulate our graduates and the many people who supported them in every way during their time at this wonderful university. I also want to welcome our keynote speaker, Sandy Castro, president and co-founder of IC Stars. I love that, Sandy, IC Stars, who was also recently a featured speaker at the 2013 Urban Forum. I also want to extend a heartfelt congratulations to William Coates, the pioneer whom we'll honor this morning. Well, graduates, as we gather today to honor your remarkable educational accomplishments and your dedication to improving the lives of others, you can take great pride in graduating from one of the top-ranked public research universities in the nation. And by the way, UIC was just ranked 15th among universities around the world, 15th of universities around the world. Yes. The main criterion for that particular ranking was being under the age of 50 years old. This university is under the age of 50 years old. You can also take pride in that you had the best faculty in the world teaching you. The faculty here are on the cutting edge of their intellectual interest and or research, and they have contributed handsomely to your professional development. So please, let's give the faculty a round of applause. They deserve it. I also want to remind you that you graduate from a college whose namesake has inspired all of us. Jane Addams was a philosopher, a sociologist, an author. She was a visionary settlement worker who founded the legendary Hull House, which is, as you know, we have the museum right here on our campus. She became a renowned leader in women's suffrage, child protection, and world peace. And she was the first American woman to be awarded the Nobel Peace Prize. Her ideals of progress and reform that so captivated the country over 100 years ago are still ideals we cherish today. And in its programs and vision, this college continues to honor her remarkable legacy. This college is a leader in advancing social, economic, as well as racial justice. This college is a leader in shaping programs and policies, not just locally, but around the nation. You have much to feel proud of. Through your hard work and devotion in this exceptional college, you have earned the fulfillment and joy of today's ceremony. Your commencement is also a day, and I want you to take time to reflect. I encourage you to turn your thoughts to memories of your time here, the faculty who challenged and inspired you, the staff you depended on, the students who became your lifelong friends. Take time today to treasure your experiences at UIC, the lectures, the study groups, the research projects, the practica, your involvement in the community, and the all-nighters, right? The all-nighters? Any of you can relate to the all-nighters? I hope you can. I can, even as a student many, many decades ago. Appreciate today and always the colleagues, mentors, and cherished friends you sit beside this morning. As you join the proud ranks of distinguished social work alumni, I urge you to stay connected to this college and to this campus and to each other. And it is my fond hope that the UIC flame will serve as a beacon of promise and inspiration in the years ahead. Let me end with a quotation from Jane Addams herself. She said, "The good we secure for ourselves is precarious and uncertain until it is secured for all of us and incorporated into our common life." As you begin a new phase of your life today, may the legacy of Jane Addams inspire your future work and reaffirm your dedication to securing the common good for all people, regardless of race, sex, income, sexual orientation, disability, etc. Congratulations. You are now, or you will soon be, alumni of this great college and this university.
It is now my pleasure to introduce to you the faculty of Jane Addams College of Social Work. And as I call each faculty member's name, I ask that they stand and remain standing until I've introduced all of them. And for you, audience, I ask if you hold your applause until all faculty members have been introduced. Okay. Cassandra McKay Jackson, Jennifer Shepard Payne, Annette Johnson, Jose Sayas, Pamela Brown, Natalie Smith, Henrika McCoy, Amy Watson, Jim Gleason, Sonia Leathers, Mark Matini, Alan Detlef, Barbara Coates, Larry Bennett, James Swartz, Edward Potts, Patricia O'Brien, Gina Gaston, Jennifer Wheeler Brooks, Josh Mursky, Julie Fisher, Changming She, Otima Doyle, and Vaughn Nevitt. Thank you. You can applaud now.
I'd like to thank you for holding your applause, or at least you acted as if you were holding the applause, but I did hear, who let the dogs out or something? Yeah, I think technically that is applause. Anyway, moving on with our commencement, our speaker today is Sandy Castro, and she is the president and co-founder of IC Stars. IC Stars is an organization that works with and on behalf of inner city youth, helping them to develop business and technology skills as a means of dealing with breaking the poverty cycle that often occurs in inner city neighborhoods. Ms. Castro is really a person who instills inspiration and hope. And whereas some people see our youth, particularly those who live in disadvantaged and marginalized communities, as problems, as people at risk, and as folks that we really maybe need to be afraid of, she and the members of her organization see them as stars. I see stars. And it is just such an honor to have her come and speak today with our graduates and the people who have joined our graduates to celebrate their achievements. Ms. Castro.
Thank you so much for that introduction. For what? For what? How did we get here? My name is Sandy Castro, and I'm the president and co-founder of IC Stars. The other co-founder was a Jane Addams graduate. And we are a technology leadership and business training program for inner city young adults in Chicago. And we find talent, train talent, and put talent to work. And our vision is 1,000 community leaders by 2020. And to put this into context, I'd like to tell you my story about how I came to be here and for what. So today, you commence. This is your commencement, your beginning. So how did you get here? It wasn't easy. You had to fight to get here. You had to love to get here. And something to think about as you commence is for what? What are you fighting for? What are you loving for? Now you could say, I'm a one-room urban school teacher. I taught math and science for 15 years before founding IC Stars, and I believe that the world is our classroom, and we learn through experiences. And the more diverse our one room is, the more we can learn from other perspectives, and the more we can innovate. Because diversity is the primary driver of invention. I'm fighting for equality and opportunities, and I'm loving for the future. I believe, like Thomas Edison, that from the neck down, we are all minimum wage. It's what we do with what's up here that creates our legacy, that makes us knowledge workers, that allows us to serve. So I used to be a science teacher, and on the first day of my chemistry class, I would pull down the periodic table and have everyone pick an element. And that's who you'd be for the whole semester. So if you were iron, I'd call you Effie. And if you were gold, I'd say, hey, you! Thank you for laughing. Now, next I would ask the students whether they wanted to be a solid, a liquid, or a gas. So, all the cool dudes would be like, solid, like a rock, and some of the girls would be like, liquid, like the motion of the ocean. But the geeks, who were thinking, where's she going with this, would say gas. Now, imagine you're 17 years old, and you just declared to a classroom that you want to be a gas. You're going to hear some sounds, you know what I mean? So then I'd separate the class, and I would say, okay, solids, you all sit in the front row. Your molecules are packed tightly together, and you will not move. Sometimes I talk to them as if they weren't as smart as everyone else, because after all, they were solids. And then for the liquids, I'd rope off a section of the classroom, and I'd say your molecules are a little bit more spread out, and yet you will always take the shape of your container. And the gases, well, the gases, they were free to do whatever it was they wanted to do. Their molecules were all spread out. If I left the door open, they could leave. They had the ultimate freedom. And at 17, that's pretty much all we want. Well, immediately, the solids would say, that is not fair. And I'd say, well, then you've got to change your state of matter, or possibly your state of mind. And in our journey together through chemistry, that's what we're going to do. We're going to figure out the freedoms that we want. But at the end of the day, we can't forget who we are, what our element is. So for some of us, this is going to be really easy. It's going to be about heating or cooling or pressure. But for others, it's going to be much more challenging. And no one can really give you that answer. You've got to find it for yourself. You've got to find your freedom. So my students did very well. And often they'd come back and visit, and I would ask them, what are you doing with your science? And I believe that science is the study of truth. One day, one of my brightest students came to see me, and I asked him about his truth, and he said that he was working with chemicals, and I got all excited, and I said, what are you doing? Are you smashing atoms? Tell me what. And he said he was working in cleaning services at one of the hotels downtown, and that I would be surprised at what people didn't know about the basic properties of ammonia. Well, I was upset. I was upset because here was one of the brightest minds I'd ever met. He could have figured out cold fusion, and yet there he was cleaning toilets. I was devastated. What a waste of potential. And he looked at me, and he said, Sandy, you're not listening to me. You've always taught us that leadership is making opportunities for others. And it doesn't matter whether I'm in a lecture hall or a lab or I'm cleaning bathrooms, I'm teaching. And it's freeing. My heart sank. As I walked back to my office, I realized what it was that I was fighting for. Leslie, the other co-founder, and I talked for days about what the ultimate program would look like. The world was getting flatter, and the dot-coms were everywhere, and the world was changing, shrinking and expanding at the same time. And the white middle-class way of doing things was soon to be challenged in a global marketplace. It was 1998. Now, I love technology because it's creative. It doesn't matter what you look like. It's a meritocracy. And as programmers, teaching programming, we could write the rules. But mostly, we could shift from being a consumer to being an innovator. We could be makers, and we could be free. So we would anchor the program in leadership, and we would teach a set of skills that sat between leadership and technology, community and systems thinking, process and methodology, and how to make opportunities for others. So we designed a program that taught technology and leadership in the same frame. We created a project-based learning model that anchored itself in the market demand. Our students work on real projects for Fortune 500 companies, and they solve business problems by building software, mobile apps, and websites. Now, after the 4-month intensive 1,000-hour training program, our placement rate is 90%, the average earning increase is 400%, and 75% of our alums are actively engaged in the community. This year, 27 of our 300 alums have become homeowners. And rather than moving out of the city and into the burbs, because that's where their jobs are, our alums are investing in the communities that we come from, becoming homeowners, starting businesses, being service leaders, and being visible, fighting for policy changes. You see, we shifted the paradigm in workforce development from this idea or this notion that you need us to we need you. And I would say that to all of you. We need you. Experiential education takes time. It happens in real time, and to fortify their experience, we create just-in-time modules. Now, some say our most valuable currency is our time. So how do you treat your time? Do you make time? Do you spend time, save time, find time? And if so, for what? It's time. It's time to dream into action. So as you architect your vision, ask yourself, what have you seen? And what do you see now? How will your vision be altered by humanity and by your own humanity? Because there's sacrifice and there's investment. And the difference is what you feel like you are giving up and what you are giving to the future. And there will be days that you ask yourselves, for what? You'll have those days when it would have been so much easier to choose a different career path, a safer career path, a career path that will bring you great wealth and accolades from your colleagues and fancy conferences and times when you'll be wined and dined, a career that gives you so many comforts just to remind you that you're needed and valued and important. And these things may or may not answer, for what? In our work, we may rarely find or see fancy. And so we fight for freedom every day, even when the task we're doing doesn't seem so. So my for what story was, there was a time after 9/11, after the dot-com bubble burst and the recession rocked our world, and we wondered if we'd cease to exist as an organization. And we called these the dark days of IC Stars. The COO and I sat in a small room with a list of people who we believed to be leads to fund the program. We hired 2 alums to teach the curriculum, and we would sit in that small room with no windows, literally dialing for dollars and trying desperately to see the horizon, to see the future. We were fighting for the future of the organization. And with every yes that we got, we'd go upstairs and check in with our students, because our truth was that there was no place we'd rather be than teaching. Well, one day, one of the students had allowed herself to be baited into violence by another student, and she lost control and a fight broke out, and I had to let her go from the program. It was heartbreaking. I knew that she had been manipulated by another student into this escalated state of anger, and she was now in, and she had fallen off her square. And when she saw me, she knew that she had made this choice and that her tenure at IC Stars was over sooner than she had planned. It all came rushing to her, and with tears in her eyes, she said to me, For what, Sandy? For what? It was exactly how I felt. For what was this moment worth? For what? I sat back in the room with no windows, desperately trying to see the horizon, and said out loud, for what? Our reward of going into the studio and teaching was always the what. And this is why we do everything else, to keep the business going. And when the reward was telling a young woman who wanted to be here, wanted and understood the power of her own transformation, had to leave at my decision, I was like, for what? For recognizing the power in our choices. For knowing that if I were to say out loud, it was over, it would be. For knowing that 10 years later we would be talking with other cities about how to scale the IC Stars model. And for this student who was fired from IC Stars to know that there was something to fight for, to choose a fight for the future, and that the investment she made was not lost. She had only sacrificed the rest of her internship at IC Stars. That very same week, one of my dearest friends, who was 7 years old at the time, said to me these 3 words, the hope needs you. And so today I give these words to you. The hope needs you. Put it in your pocket, save it for later. Save it for those days when you ask yourselves, for what? Or perhaps you're in a place of sacrifice versus investment. Have your answer ready. For what? For something better, for change, for shifting paradigms, for love, for others, for humanity, for our communities, for the future, for healing, for making opportunities rather than taking them, for our parents, for our children, for the promise, for now and for later, and for Jane Addams. Thank you very much, and congratulations.
I am pretty sure that all of us will remember for what and the many different responses that each of us can give to that particular question. The Jane Addams Pioneer Award is given to a graduate of the college who has made outstanding contributions to social reform and social change. And while we have many such graduates, we are honoring and recognizing only one of them today, William Coates. Now, I always call him Bill Coates, so I'm going to lapse into that, and I will ask him to join me now at the podium. A little bit about my friend Bill. He indicated to me earlier today that in deference or honor or some such thing, that he chose not to wear a coonskin cap. Now, it took me a little while, as it may take you, to realize, what is he talking about? Oh, pioneer, coonskin cap and all. The first to do something way back in the day. Sometimes it just means old. I used to call myself a pioneer in my area of research, and then I realized, whoa, wow, people just think I mean old. I meant I was innovative, trying to describe myself. But Bill Coates has actually been very innovative and very instrumental in bringing about major changes in the area of mental health in the state of Illinois and also in the state of Oregon. He's one of the first to do many things, or he's associated with a group of people who were among the first to do many things. And they have all changed the shape of mental health services in the state of Illinois. For example, he was one of the first to be about developing community-based programs for persons who have a mental illness. Many of you are probably not old enough to remember that if a person had a mental illness, that person was institutionalized. But Bill was at the vanguard of changing the nature of practice in this particular field by developing one of the first community-based programs. He was among the first group of people who in the state of Illinois thought to establish or worked to establish a mental health court. He was among the first, one of the first, providing leadership with a group of people who developed not co-occurring programs, but programs for people who had co-occurring problems, specifically mental health, a chronic mental illness, and you can see I'm kind of getting a little flustered here, along with the substance abuse problem, co-occurring mental health and substance abuse disorders. That's what we say in social work. Okay, give me a round of applause for getting it straight. Even after Bill retired, he continued to do innovative things and certainly worked with us at Jane Addams College of Social Work to establish social services for streetwise vendors working with streetwise organization. And so we have been very proud of Bill's many accomplishments, of the many contributions that he has made to Jane Addams students in terms of teaching, in terms of mentoring, in terms of just being there when I needed consultation and technical assistance. So it is my pleasure to present the 2014 Pioneer Award to William Bill Coates. It is very pleasant. Thank you. Thank you very much. Now I have to definitely make sure I stay with the script now because I think this may be the moment that many of you have been anxiously awaiting. Right? Yes. It is my pleasure to introduce the following program administrators who will present their degree candidates. The PhD and MSW candidates will please rise after the administrators have stipulated their degrees. Okay? Jonathan Art, Associate Dean of the Graduate College, will present the candidates for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Did I mess up the program?
Yeah.
It's a good
I
thing
need someone to
it's a
present
good
to.
thing you're not grading me today, right?
Chancellor Alan Mears, upon the recommendation of the faculty and by vote of the Senate, I have the honor to present these candidates for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Would the candidates please rise?
Upon these recommendations and by the authority of the Board of Trustees, I confer upon each of you the Doctor of Philosophy degree for which you have been presented and admit you to all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities of that degree. You may now move your tassel from the right to the left. Congratulations to each of you.
Will the new recipients of the Doctor of Philosophy please come upon the platform to be hooded and recognized? Brian Kelly. Camille Quinn. It's a very dangerous degree. Nancy Rolock. Rachel Venema.
A round of applause for our PhD graduates. Associate Dean Faith Bonecutter will now present the candidates for the MSW degree.
Chancellor Alan Mears, upon the recommendation of the faculty and by vote of the Senate, I have the honor to present these candidates for the degree of Master of Social Work. Will the candidates for the MSW degree please rise?
Upon these recommendations, and by the authority of the Board of Trustees, I confer upon each of you the Master of Social Work degree for which you have been presented and admit you to all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities of that degree. You may now move your tassel from the right to the left, and congratulations to each and every one of you.
Will the new recipients of the Master of Social Work degree come upon the platform to be recognized?
Alexa Wolfort. Jessica LeBeau Richmond. Priscilla Beecham Joseph. Jasmine Brownfield. Danielle Vincent Tucker. Martha Ruiz. Michelle Marie Garvey. Alejandro Cortez Woods. Saeed Joyce. Cassandra Carrasquillo. Shaniqua S. Berry. Amanda Henschel. Kylie Heth. Carl Wiley. Jessica Pino. Alexandra Ziskin. Stephanie Samudio. Zachary Cutts. Stacy Addams. Melissa Ann Michaels. Erica Negrete. Amanda Kelsey Coots. Laura Widener. Stephanie Irene Olafson. Raquel Green. Katarzyna Lonenska. Kelly Christina Dewey. Alexandra Michelle Panati. Alexander Tadeye. John Mitchell. Sierra Bates Walker. Jennifer Poole. Diane Denise Britton. Gregory Douglas Van Dwan. Kanin Vinay Thirthan. John Berman.
Josh.
Eileen Hansen. Erica M. Whitley. Tajmar Carter. Heidi Fajardo. Tamaya Davis. Alexandra Dominique Mason. Shalini Jasmine Vaneka. Catherine Allison Padula. Parvana Shidnia Smith. Rebecca Dawn Flattery. Sean Marie Flynn. Theodora Elise McLean. Rachel Ann Wenmaker. Beth Ann Sackett. Jennifer Nicole Craven.
Wait a minute, we got a log jam.
Zoe Cologne. Stacy Elizabeth Robinson. Hannah I. Nordwall. Michael Griffin. Lydia Quinones. Nicole L. Rosen. Melissa M. Stoico. Diana Spathis. Andrew Rep. Sky Luciana Beerton. Maya Grace No. Jillian Marie Justice. Diane Ritchie. Carolyn May Stipka. Flynn Mallory Oakner. Latia Lane. Laura Roach. Jordan Ramsdell. Amy Leahy. Grace Kwa. Catherine Swedberg. Carla Ligna Cabrera. Elisa Monique Martinez. Danielle Morgan Banks. Catherine Huang. Nicole Bennett. Nicole Louise Prusill. Emily Elaine O'Kelly. Ashley P. Harris. Emily Dunbar. Julia Haston. Molly King. Stacy Kaplan. Emily Linnea Halweg. Kara Krolik. Aubrey Emma Thornton. Brenna Sear. Kimberly A. Jenian. Angel Monique Downey. Robert Motley Jr. Lauren Lanier Perez. Cassandra Braswell. Serena Mathina. Joey Metler. Samantha Ione Kurtenbach. Eric Weissens. Maria Green. Letta Karen Wembley. Delilah Quintana. Farzana Chavda. Carla Rosa Dolores Gutierrez Dominguez. Natalie Brady. Jacqueline Dorantes. Margaret Smith. Easter May Young. Marlena Torito. Teresa Christine Shore. Catherine Elizabeth Robinson. Cassandra Carolyn Quirium. Kenya Simone Richardson. Candace Poran. Utah Erica Powell. Ryan Matthew Belk. Aaron Rowan. Hannah Marie Kralovic. Gabrielle Taylor. Gabrielle Calmy. Sheila Odoso Sowe. Alejandra Victoria Romo. Lindsay Juliette Bailey. Elizabeth Claire Duffy. Lisette Lucero. Melissa Dawn Quijano. Lauren Margaret Nagel. Amanda Lynn Medina. Griselda Valdez. Enisa Maria Alicia. Aubrey May Runyon. Elizabeth White. Brianna Yates. Amaya Chanel Jones. Bianca Z. Kuyun. Veronica Marie Dorman. Victor E. Rodriguez. Clara Francesca Villaseñor. Yesenia Hernandez. Samina Kausar. Rita Espinoza. Janelle Green. Sabina Karsik. Elizabeth Alice Bryce. Joyce Klein. Stephanie Baylog. Lucy Cushing Turner Scheuer. Evelyn Ramos. Christina Breesy. Joan Monique Paradis. Diana Nathalie Castillo Hidalgo. Fatima Villaseñor. Meredith Hirschner. Giovanni Lina Aviles. Colleen Norwell. Mary Alice Meckes. Elizabeth Darcy. Simona Kovacic. Erin Hageman. Megan Lindsay Weinstein. Brooke Victoria Sloan. Taylor Coriel. Kelly Beth Larson. Carolyn M. Katta. Carolina Kokel. Georgina Corona. Sarah Whitney Bolton. Sharice Eshman Pine. Catherine Palmer. Christine Lepak. Ekaterina Andreeva. Anna Beyer. Jamie Ann Ivino. Allie Kennedy. Taylor L. Wessel. Carolyn Pittman. Bridget Luby. Paula L. Thigpen. Jill Murphy. Maggie Marinsick. Kelly Horn. Paige Weber. Tiffany Misek. Lucas Obrocta. Christine Eileen Maines. Olivia Majid Mansour. Judy Heithmar. Jeremy D'Alessio. Julie Field.
Nice and loud, all right?
Brian Peter McIntosh.
Yeah, thank you.
Shanda Marie Gilligan. Melissa Burian. Kelly Noreen Scafidi. Carly Marie Siegel. Catherine Elaine Valenta. Shanita Lene Mardis. Angel Maxine Matthews Beecham. Latoya Daney Tennyhill.
A round of applause for all of our graduates. It's so fascinating as I watch all of you looking for yourselves on the big screen. But what you really should have seen was yourself when you crossed the stage, because everybody was so happy, including the guys who wanted to be cool. By the time they reached me, it was all smiles. So congratulations again. I am so happy that you are. Arlene Norson will now bring greetings from the alumni.
This is a special day for me as well as for you, because I personally know some of you who are graduating today. And because my last degree was in family counseling, I know just how hard you have worked to get where you are. You represent all that is good about the university. You've sacrificed much to get here, and you will continue to sacrifice for those in your care. The values by which you live will reflect upon the education that you received at our alma mater. You've made it better just by being here. We've heard an inspiring message from Ms. Castro today. Her vision has transformed lives. I have no doubt that many of you will have a similar impact, for you've chosen a profession that focuses on others. You will undoubtedly make sacrifices in the future when you care deeply about your clients when perhaps no one else in the world will. By doing so, you will build the foundation of our country, one life at a time. You will strengthen the fabric of our society. And although you thought you were finished, please open those diploma covers. Is there a diploma in there? Not yet. So before I can officially welcome you to the largest living alumni family in the United States, I have a test. Now, I also have lots of witnesses, including your faculty. So I want you to think very carefully when you answer these questions, because there's not yet your degree in that diploma cover. Will you stay connected? We need your spirit, your energy, your stories, your involvement to enhance the experience for the students who follow you. So, will you stay connected? Will you say yes if you're asked to host an intern, mentor a student, or speak to a class? Will you show your pride in our alma mater and display that diploma in your home, your office, or another visible area? And will you recruit a student just like you back to UIC to help ensure that it will continue to enjoy its reputation for academic excellence with a student body that's known for its intelligence, its work ethic, its motivation and diversity? Will you do that? And when you can, and no matter what the size, because every gift makes a difference, will you forego that Starbucks and make a donation so UIC will be here for your children too? me try that one again. All right. I guess I have to give you a qualified pass. Along with my congratulations, go forth and make this world better for all of us.
Thank you very much. Ms. Nordstrom is definitely the best cheerleader and advocate for UIC, even though she had to give a qualified pass to some of you. I, however, had the cameras on you, and I know who said yes and who did not. Jessica LeBeau Richmond will provide the response for the graduating class. Jessica is a recipient of the MSW degree and is president of the Jane Addams College of Social Work Student Government.
Faculty. Hello, class of 2014 and Jane Addams College of Social Work community. We did it. We are here at graduation. As we close the chapter to our graduate school education and open the door to our careers in the social work field, I'd like to take a moment to recognize all of our family members, friends, Jane Addams faculty, and staff who have helped us get to this day. They all deserve a big round of applause. I'd also like to acknowledge the presence of the returning alumni in the audience as well as the platform party. As Jane Addams Student Government President, I had one main goal this year: to create a sense of community amongst all social work students. As a student-led organization, we did a lot this year. Boy, am I tired. For example, we developed and implemented a successful mentorship program and held many educational and social events. This would not have been completed without the support of the other Jane Addams student government officers, including Gabrielle Taylor, Vice President. Woo! I'm sorry. And Gabrielle Calmy, Committee Liaison, who are both graduating with us here today. I would also like to thank Foundation students, Olivia Desmareau, Student Affairs Chair, and Kelly Butler, Part-Time Liaison, as well as Actress Bartlett, PhD Liaison. Along with these 5 remarkable ladies, there were many other students who were active and involved in the Jane Addams community, whose work stood out. I'd like to thank you all for helping us reach our goal of making our program a warm and welcoming environment. I think all social work students come to Jane Addams with a desire to help people or to make the world a better place. This is one of the simplest ways I like to describe our field to people who are unfamiliar with it. I love our field. It is so broad and the possibilities are endless. What other degrees do you know of that prepare you to influence policymakers, provide direct support to people in need, or to be in a nonprofit leadership role? And these are just a few career paths. Social justice, helping people, and making the world a better place have always been important to me. I could not imagine a career that did not involve these components. Everyone's journey to and through Jane Addams College of Social Work is unique. I came to Jane Addams for a couple of very specific reasons. I wanted to get an MSW degree in Chicago. I have always admired Jane Addams, and the price of the program was right. Prior to graduate school, I had been working in the nonprofit field for 7 years in New Jersey and Virginia. Without an MSW degree, I could see my career choices being limited, and I wanted options. I am incredibly grateful for having had this opportunity to advance my social justice career. I distinctly remember my first day of classes at Jane Addams. I didn't know anybody. I had just moved to the Midwest and had only been living in Chicago for 1 week. I was new to UIC and new to Jane Addams. I got to class early and noticed that none of my classmates were talking. I recall thinking to myself, I guess everybody has the first day jitters. Luckily, once class got started with the wonderful Dr. Gina Gaston, she easily engaged us, and we went around in a circle, shared our stories, and the ice started to break. With time, friendships formed, and we each created our own social work student support systems. I am so thankful for having made such good friends and for meeting so many other people who are interested in having a positive impact on society. My story is just one story. Each and every graduate in the audience has his or her own. Our journey to and through Jane Addams may be a little bit different, but I hope you all know that you each have a special talent, and that is that you care about people. That unites us all, to each other, to the faculty and staff at Jane Addams, and to the social work field. What would a graduation speech be without some tips to live by? I love lists, especially to-do lists, but I'll start with this list. Number 1, don't limit your job search by sitting behind a computer screen. Get out and network. Number 2, learn when to speak up and when to keep your mouth shut. Number 3, the NASW Code of Ethics is your friend. Number 4, don't burn your bridges. It's a very small community. Number 5, self-care. Always make time to do stuff you enjoy besides social work. Number 6, build a support system of social workers and other professionals you trust for career advice. Number 7, treat others the way you want to be treated. I'm almost done. Number 8, you can't help every client, change every system, or influence every policy, but you can celebrate small victories. Number 9, always be open to learning and growing, personally and professionally. It is impossible to have learned everything you need to know to be a social worker in graduate school, and each role in your career is a stepping stone to something else. Number 10, be concise, and I hope I was. Those of you who have been in classes with me know that I am always sharing announcements, so before I wrap up my speech, I have just a couple logistical announcements. Just two more. I promise. First, if you ordered Jane Addams merchandise, the new student government officers will be handing out items on the social work floor in room 4448 following commencement. Also, if you would like to donate your graduation gown to the class of 2015, after you're done taking pictures with your friends and family, the new student government officers will be around to collect graduation gowns. This year we have 20 students in the audience who are wearing donated gowns from the class of 2013. I encourage all students to take this time to express feelings of gratitude towards whoever in your life has helped you reach this goal of graduating from UIC's Jane Addams College of Social Work, MSW or PhD program. For me, this would not have been possible without the love and the encouragement from my husband, Matt, and my parents who are here celebrating with me today. Thank you, Mom, Dad, and Matt, for your patience. I know you've needed a lot of patience. support, and unconditional love. You guys are the greatest. To all the graduates today, I wish you all the best in your future endeavors. Congratulations and peace out.
Thank you very much for that wonderful response, for those lessons to live by, for those announcements, and for that tribute to your mom. What a wonderful Mother's Day gift to have your daughter delivering the commencement presentation, and also to recognizing you for the support that you have provided. I want to recognize all the moms in the audience, the moms in our graduating class. Raise your hands. And the moms of graduates, moms and grandmas. I'm at that age, see? Moms and grandmas in the audience. Certainly, happy Mother's Day. And another round of applause for the graduates of the 2014 class of Jane Addams College of Social Work. At the conclusion of this program, I invite graduates, their families, and friends to join us for a reception in the large tent at the left of this building. I understand we may have some challenges out there, especially if it has continued to rain while we have been here having a good time, but please join us there. I ask that the audience please remain seated until the faculty and the graduates have marched out of the auditorium. Banner carriers, please retrieve your banners. This concludes the program for the 2014 commencement, Jane Addams College of Social Work, University of Illinois at Chicago.